Howdy, and welcome back. You know, pharmacies with fine food are hard to come by, but we found one down in Kingsville with one interesting owner. That's why we put the Harrel Pharmacy as a stop on the Texas bucket list. When it comes to Kingsville, the King Ranch is king in these parts. Getting a tour of the sprawling spread or just visiting the saddle shop to breathe in the bouquet of that fine leather is what brings most folks to town. But you might get a whiff of what's coming from across the street at Harrels Pharmacy.
To me, it's the best.
It's just like a small town treasure.
It's kind of like our living room almost, just lots of stuff in it.
Nick Harrel III has two distinctions down in Kingsville. He's the third generation of Harrels to own this over 100-year-old drugstore. And he has the best handlebars here, bar none.
Tell me you have a Harley.
No, I don't.
So how long have you been growing your mustache?
Probably 45 years, 46 years. Down here in kind of some barren land, and there's not a whole lot of shade, so we have to make our own. So we just grow it.
You're good from here now.
Yeah.
His grandfather, Nick Harrel Sr., started the drugstore back in 1916 and ran it for 50 years before passing it down. Nick III took it over from his father in 1982, but he's still not the longest tenured staff member.
Right now, I'm up to being second in seniority around here.
Second?
We have an employee that's worked here for over 50 years.
Wow. Who's that?
Red.
Why do they call you Red?
I used to have hair, and it used to be orange, carrot orange red.
Really?
Red's real name might remind you of your favorite kid show.
My name's Oscar, and like Oscar the Grouch.
You're not Oscar the Grouch. You're like the Yoda of pharmacy.
Red really knows his stuff, and since 1969, he's been the heart and soul of Harrel's.
He's a pharmacy tech.
Over 50 years in the same place.
He probably can tell you where everybody in town lives
That's unreal.
and their genealogy.
Yeah.
A lot of people know me, and I know a lot of people. 4 or 5 generations already.
We had to make him cut down to 5 days a week, and so he takes Tuesdays off. And now we have enough extra employees, he's down to 4 days a week. He gets to take Saturdays off too. Except ask him how many times he comes in on Saturdays. He still comes in just to check on us, to make sure we're doing it right.
They think I'm crazy, but I said, well, look at all these people I have worked with.
Working side by side with Nick, they fill folks' medications and dispense helpful advice for a longer life.
If you'll quit listening to the news, you'll be much happier.
While Nick and Red are a popular act, the headliner of Harrel's is the soda shop. That's been a hot spot for locals for a long time.
They make the best hamburgers anywhere.
I used to walk over here with my friends from school.
Gloria Ponce enjoys relishing in her recollections of this place with her great-granddaughter Zoe.
I think it's a very good place for kids to hang out, and teenagers, and even adults. Sometimes they have good memories here, like a lot of them.
I always bring her here and I tell her my stories from way back. So that's why she likes to come here, because when she gets older, she says, I'm going to tell those stories also.
I feel like I won't forget this day because I'm sitting here making memories with her, and I bet it's going to make her happy a lot.
Making these special memories wouldn't be complete without a meal. And at Harrel's, you'll wish the prescriptions had the same prices as the provisions.
I gotta admit, when I picked up the menu, I thought this was your original 1982 menu.
Right. We have raised the prices since the 80s.
Have you?
Burgers in the 60s and 70s were 35 to 45 cents.
Sure. $2.55 for a hamburger? That sounds like 80s prices to me. Maybe 90s? Early 90s?
I know we've raised prices a little bit.
Chicken fried steak sandwich, $3.25.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Well, that's an expensive item on the menu.
And then breakfast. I mean, where can you find 2 eggs, Sausage and toast for $3.15.
It doesn't include the coffee.
Oh, okay.
Coffee, 75 cents.
Got to throw that in there.
I took a picture of the menu because I couldn't believe that something like that could really exist. Like that you could get a hamburger for under $3 and that it would taste so good.
This double meat and cheeseburger, it'll set you back $4.50.
When you taste that burger, you're like, yes.
Makes your day.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
As long as we can have quality food, we can keep the prices down. If it doesn't run us out of business, it's not hurting us.
So just that important to keep a community gathering place open for you.
Yes, I think so.
Whether it's getting a big burger and a shake from the soda shop, or getting a chance to chat with Red about his tenure at this meeting place in Kingsville, stopping by Harrel's is a heck of a stop on the Texas bucket list.
All I can tell young people is find a job you like and it's not work. It's a joy.
Kingsville itself is just a step back in time.
I think it's kind of awesome because everything's all old-fashioned. Like their food is good, their ice cream's good. Like you should try it. It's very awesome.
If I could come every day, I would come every day.
Can you imagine that back in the day that we'd be here in 2020 and you'd be behind the counter?
No. I thought maybe I would go like, maybe just, 10 years. But I always say I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna quit, and I never do.
You just love the job that much?
Yes, sir. I love working with people. God has blessed me.